All right, let's go ahead and get to it. So this is, what is today? I'm sorry, I don't even know what the date is. Saturday the 26th. All right, so Saturday the 26th of June, we're going ahead and we're looking at coming up, what's coming up for the next couple of weeks. So specifically next week. So the first thing we're looking at right here, Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, right? All right, we see a couple things right here to point out. Right, we see numerous bounces off of this. So this line was holding as a resistance, right? It broke through right here, came back up to this resistance level here, and then it came down. Now it's starting to curve back up. So potentially, right, what you could potentially see is it slowly make its way back up to this line that it rejected previously. All right, so that's what you'll be watching for. That's what I'm watching for if the plane gets to the upside. Okay. Next, Boeing. All right, now Boeing, see obviously kind of the same sort of thing where it has those points where it's bouncing off at the top. And I'll go ahead and circle them like always. Boom, 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 right? Bouncing down at the top, and now it's at that spot again. So here's at a potential. I'm actually in Boeing calls. I think 2 weeks out, maybe 3. I'm looking for a break above. That's just me. I mean, I got enough time on it to where if it does start to bounce back down in this range, that I could go ahead, pull the plug and be at minimal loss, right, if need be. We see it's bouncing off that level, bouncing off here. So it could bounce back down and continue to chop inside of that pattern before actually breaking out. Just want to keep an eye on Bank of America. The financials were doing great. They all had a pretty solid week from what I saw. Bank of America is no different. All right, what we can see here is a simple play up to that resistance level. So we already saw originally that this over here was resistance. All right, we saw a resistance there, a couple of drops here, right, and then we saw it turn into support. All right, so here we go again. Easy play is a potential move up there to that 43.50 area. And then we might see it bounce up and down in that 43.50 to 40 area, or potentially a breakthrough. But the easy play is just to play it up to that 43.50 zone. Dish. Okay, Dish, interesting setup here. We see the support level that it just came off of. All right, we see those resistance here, turn to support. There's this gap above that it could move up into. All right, so it could move up and close out that gap. If you want to learn more about gaps, I have videos in the swing trading course, Profits to Pockets. Really, if you want to learn all of this, I go through it step by step, breaking it all down in that swing trading course. But here we can see Dish potential play up to around that 43.50 area. Really need to see it make a new high. So it's not much here, not a big spot to gain on the gap fill, but if it does fill that gap, you could see it carry momentum all the way back up to that 47 area, which is the nearest, real resistance area. So potential play up to that 47 from where it's at right now. Netflix had a pretty big one. It ended on a gap up. All right, so it jumped up, finished up $9 from this gap, but finished down from where it started. Still sitting on a huge gap, waiting for that. It started breaking into the territory. So a couple things we could see on this one. Let me go ahead and connect the dots. Boom. All right, so we could see it push down off of that, just like we looked at the other ones. We could see it push down off that line, or we could see it rip through. So this one is kind of a play by ear per se, or just watching to see and reacting. I didn't jump in anything early, but rather I'm going to sit back and react to what it does if it starts to choose a direction. If it starts gaining ground on the upside, I'll play it that way. That's the most beneficial way to play it, the highest return that can be found if it does make that move back to that 560 area, which is going to be the newer or easier resistance to play it to. Realty income. Okay. Trendline support bounces. right? Easy enough. We see a bounce here, we see a bounce here, we see a bounce here. Can play it up to that 70, 50 area, which I've already marked off. Also, this is a stock that pays out monthly dividends, as you see. And so if you are trying to scoop up a dividend stock, especially a monthly dividend stock, this might be a good one to play, especially on the bounce for your long-term portfolio. The last one I have marked out for you is, don't know how to pronounce that name, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. All right. Now, same sort of thing from before with the trend line resistance. All right, so boom, 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 boom. Okay, we also see it's pretty much at a original horizontal resistance level. We see those bounces right there where it bounces down off that 131. Looks like it's about 131.50 or 132 area. So this one might be a potential play to drop back down. If it stays in that range, as we see before, it dropped back down here and there, right? Or even if it just drops back down to this area right here, around 126, 125. All right, so a couple things to play with that one. I'm looking for it potentially on the put side, potentially, right? I say potentially because I'm waiting, right? I'm waiting to see if it actually does break back down below right here. So this one was 131.68. If you look at the top left corner, you'll see that was the low for that day. So that's it. I'm waiting for that so I can actually see that it is potentially moving down before I do take an entry.